So you're looking to move to the Lansing, Michigan area, and you're wondering what are some of the top school systems? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you my top 5 school systems that are ranked on niche.com. And also, I'm going to explain to you what school of choice looks like in the state of Michigan. And stay tuned until the end because I will share with you even some private school recommendations if you're not really looking to send any children to the public school system. So how about we take a moment, sit back, relax, and then let's get this episode of Lansing, Michigan Life started right now. Hey everybody, Troy Seifert here with the Capital Area Real Estate Specialist in the Lansing, Michigan area. And we get phone calls from people who are just like you, looking to move to this area. And people who are looking to buy or even sell within the greater Lansing area. So if that's you and you're looking to buy here in 9 days, 90 days, or even 9 months, we would love to be able to talk with you. So feel free to call, text, email, or schedule a Zoom. All my contact information is in the description below, so reach out anytime. I will more than gladly talk with you and answer your phone call or text. Also, another option that I don't typically say on here is reaching out to me on WhatsApp. So you might give me an email and then be like, hey, can you talk on WhatsApp? Sure, I would be more than happy to speak with you on WhatsApp if that makes you more comfortable as well. And then also, if this is your first time coming to the channel, or if you haven't done this yet and you keep watching this channel and you don't do it, even though I keep telling you to do it, please like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications so that you can be the first to be notified when a new episode of Lansing, Michigan Life just goes live on Facebook. And we've been doing this, twice a week now for the last several weeks, and I'm planning on continuing to do that. I want to thank all of you who've been reaching out to me and watching this channel. It's kind of surprised me, the amount of people that have reached out to me. So thank you for watching this and being dedicated to using me as a resource, because that's why I'm here, to be able to be a resource for you as you're looking to relocate. So thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I don't take it lightly that you're looking to potentially use me. So thank you. So this episode is going to be primarily data. And I haven't really done a lot of data ones, but I feel like with this one I need to, because as a realtor, I can't give you a subjective opinion of, oh yeah, go to this school system, go here, because I've heard from people that this place is great. I can't do that. So I have to go to a site called niche.com to be able to show you what niche.com says. They are a website that has user reviews on it. They're a database for school systems. They can be a great resource for you. So a lot of times I will reference niche.com just because I don't want to get myself in trouble, okay? So, I don't want to sway you one way or the other, okay? It's your choice on where you would want your kid to go to school. Now also, and I probably should have said this earlier, but those of you who don't have any kids that are watching this video, don't write this off. And the reason I say that is because if you're looking here in this area and maybe you have a 3 to 5 year goal that you're gonna live here, but you wanna purchase a house, right? The thing that I will tell you is it's not a bad idea to watch this, because where the highest rated school systems are where the highest prices are gonna be, and also where the highest appreciation will be over time, because people wanna be in these school systems. So when you're looking at this as purchasing a house as an investment, it'll be important for you to see what are the more popular areas. Maybe I should be looking at these, even though I don't maybe have any kids that are school age, or maybe you're homeschooling. That could be something that you're doing. Maybe you're looking into private schools. I know that those school systems don't matter, but as far as like an investment, it might not be a bad idea to still try to look for a place that has a highly rated school system. So just some food for thought there. All right, so in the state of Michigan, you might have been hearing from people that the state of Michigan, in your research, you've seen that Michigan is known for school of choice. And so you might talk with somebody and be like, hey, if you move to Michigan, and you don't like the place you live in, the school, or you don't like the school system where you live, you can just go to another one. And you can, but there are certain rules and restrictions with school of choice, okay? For instance, when you move here to the area, you only have a 2-week window to apply, typically, and it's towards the end of the school year, sometimes in June, sometimes in late May. The school system will announce and say, we are offering school of choice options. You have 2 weeks to submit your application, and then typically they will show a list of each grade of the amount of openings that are there. So kindergarten could have 50 openings, but then second grade could have 3. Okay, so you also want to kind of pay attention to the openings that are there. So you have to apply, and there has to be openings for your grade. Now there are certain exceptions to the rule of like, you know, that some people might take priority over another. If you have a sibling, like let's say you have a kid that got accepted into a separate school system, like they applied to be in school of choice, that kid got accepted, and you have a kid that's 2 years younger, that sibling will be given preferential treatment over somebody who's just randomly looking to be in the school system and applying. However, that's not always a guarantee because there has to be availability there too, and there might not be availability, right? So what I tell people is, especially when you move here, if you're moving here in January, February, I mean, you're gonna be a part of that school system because like there's only a 2-week window where you're going to be able to apply, right? So that's that. Also, there has to be openings. So there are some school systems where it is harder to get into and there's not as many openings. So the safest thing to do is to buy a house that's in the school system you want to be in. That's going to be the guaranteed thing. You're going to take a gamble, if not either way, but you're going to take a gamble if you decide to move here and you're hoping that you'll just be chosen. Because the way that it works is that if there are too many applicants over the amount of openings that are there, they're going to put you in a lottery, and it's by chance. It's not like, oh, hey, we see this person here and they live a little bit closer than this person, so we'll give them preferential treatment here. No, I mean, the only thing they will get preferential treatment for is if you have a sibling. That's it. Everyone else goes into a lottery. It's random, so you don't know. So the safest bet is for you to look in the school system, to be able to live in the school system that you want to be in. And that includes renting as well too. So you have to rent or you have to own and be within the confines of that school system, okay? So that is school of choice. As I get into these top 5 school systems, a few, like one of them especially hardly has any openings. There usually are some sort of openings each year, but some school systems are harder to get into. I do know of at least 2 of the 5 that are just extremely difficult to get into. So you have to keep that in mind when you're looking. So let's get into the top 5 schools. And again, I said a lot of this is data, so I'm gonna be reading a lot of the grades that niche.com gave. I'm gonna be giving you different subsets. I think that's gonna be helpful for you to see where the strengths and weaknesses are. So coming in at number 5 is Dewitt Schools. Dewitt School System. Dewitt is located on the northern part of Lansing. If you've been following some of my channel already, I have a few videos out there of walking around the neighborhoods. It's a smaller community, and the school system, the total is a little over 3,100 students. So you have about 250 kids, 225 to 250 kids in each class. The grade on niche.com is an A-. So coming in at number 5 is Dewitt at an A-. So these next grades I'm going to give you are different subsets of that A-. Okay, so in academics, the grade is an A that is given to Dewitt. With diversity, Dewitt is given a C. For teachers, Dewitt is given a B. For college prep, Dewitt is given an A. Clubs and activities, a B+. Administration, a B-. Sports, an A. Food, a B+. Resources and facilities, a B. I actually think in the next 4, I'm probably gonna cut out food and resources and facilities because I feel like that's just really subjective, like food shouldn't affect anything, right? But those are the different categories that are on niche.com when you look to research, okay? The next 4, I'm gonna cut out food and resources and facilities. I'm just not gonna worry about it. But you can kind of see, I mean, they get decent grades. The one thing that Dewitt has, and I've said this in a pros and cons before for Dewitt, is diversity. They get a C. Interesting. I mean, I've said that as a con, and you talk about diversity in the school system, and they get a C. I mean, it's middle of the road. It's not F failing, but there's room for improvement there. So interesting. Okay, coming in at number 4 is Hazlitt. Hazlitt. Now, I have not done a video at the time that I'm shooting this. I have not done a video of Hazlitt. Maybe by the time you're watching this video, there could be a video of Hazlitt. Hazlitt's a smaller community that has a large all sports lake in it. It borders Okemos. In fact, they're like just right next to each other in Meridian Township area towards the eastern part of the city. And Hazlitt Schools is, their grade on niche.com is an A. They get an A on niche.com. Total students in Hazlitt is a little over 2,500 students, which is a little smaller than Dewitt. So you have about 200 kids in each class. In the subsets for academics, Hazlitt gets an A. Diversity, they get a B. For teachers, B+. College prep, A-. Clubs and activities, B+. Administration, B. Sports, a B. So Dewitt got A in sports. Hazlitt got a B in sports. Okay, some of them you can see like there's a little bit of a difference, in what people think is stronger and what they think is not as strong. So that's number 4, Hazlitt Schools. Number 3, coming at number 3 is Williamston. That's another suburb I have not featured, but I definitely will. It's east of Okemos on the I-96 corridor, which is a major interstate that you can take to go right into Detroit. It's 10 minutes closer to Detroit if you live in Williamston. Williamston is a smaller community. They have an A grade on niche.com. Total students there is 1,800, so even smaller than Hazlitt. So you've got about maybe a little less than 150 students per class. Smaller class sizes there. In academics, they get an A. Diversity, they get a C, just like DeWitt did. Teachers, a B+. College prep, A-. Clubs and activities, B+. Administration, they got a B. And in sports, they got an A. So interesting. And Williamston is a nice little area. They've got a really cool downtown. I definitely will feature them in a future vlog, so you can kind of get a scope of the area. They do have some, closer to the downtown, some nice older homes, some homes that I've sold over the years there. So it's a cute little downtown that they have there. I just haven't had the chance to do a vlog there, so hopefully soon. So that's number 3. Number 2 is East Lansing school system. East Lansing. So far 3 of the 4 are towards the eastern part of the Lansing area. Interesting. They get an A rating on niche.com total. The students, it's close to 3,800, so you got about a little under 300 per classroom size. Academics, they get an A. Diversity, they get an A. Teachers, A. College prep, A+. Clubs and activities, A. Administration, A-. And sports, they get an A. So a lot of A's. There's no B in there. They get pretty good ratings there. So, East Lansing, probably a lot of it helps that they're close to the university, and a lot of people who work for the university live in East Lansing, and so the kids and professors, might go there as well too. But the diversity is actually really good as well too. I mean, that's the strongest one I've seen so far for diversity, but we haven't gotten to number 1 yet, right? So whenever you see top 5 of anything, like I've just noticed in surveys, usually before they get to number 1, there's honorable mentions. So I want to follow the trend, and I want to talk about the honorable mentions, the people that didn't make the top 5 list, but they still did okay, right? We want to give a shout out to the honorable mentions. I'm just going to kind of, I'm going to kind of just, hurry up on these. I'm not going to take a lot of time. So our honorable mentions: Grand Ledge, western part of town, got a B+. St. John's, which is just north of DeWitt, northern part of Lansing area, B+. Lanesburg, a very small community that has 2 all-sports lakes in it, very spread out, B+. Mason, which is in the southern part of Lansing, between Jackson and Lansing, they got a B+. They have a really cool downtown there too, and I'll probably feature that sometime. Bath, they get a B, and Bath is located, I don't think I said where Lanesburg was, so Lanesburg is northeast, and then DeWitt is north, right? So in between Lanesburg, I want to take the hand here, but you're not going to understand. Well, maybe you will. So DeWitt's here, right? Right here. And then you got Lanesburg right here. Well, Bath is in between those two. Can you follow? Can you follow my little map? Okay, so Bath is a small community. They got a B rating. Holt, which is just south of Lansing, but north of Mason, they got a B-. So I wanted to give a shout out to those. If you didn't hear your school system that maybe you're looking into, that means they probably got a lesser grade, so you might want to look into why for some of those. So number one, typically I like to do a drum roll for this, but if you've been following my channel, you probably know what I'm already gonna say because I've talked about it a bunch. So no drum roll, there's really not, because it's Okemos, okay? Okemos is number one. It's not really a surprise, okay? Not really a surprise. Okemos is number one. They have an A+ rating on niche.com. Niche has ranked them the number one school system in Michigan, okay? So A+ on niche. Students, there are 4,600 students throughout the whole school system. That includes the Montessori school, that's also a part of Okemos school system. None of these other schools have a Montessori school, but Okemos does. And so that's why you're not gonna have close to 400 class sizes in like the Okemos public schools, like in the Okemos middle school, it might be a little bit less. So for academics, you have an A+ for academics. Diversity, A-, which is interesting that they gave an A- for diversity, and East Lansing has higher, but I think that those come pretty close. Teachers, an A. College prep, A+. Clubs and activities, A-. Administration, A-. Sports, B+. They got a B, folks, in the sports. They do have some sports that they are very strong at, especially in the last few years. Tennis, they're very strong at. Football, it's been a tough road for them. With football, but you know, every year you could have a lot of new talent, who knows? So that's probably why they got a B+ for sports. But there you have it. So there are your top 5. And before I end this video, I do want to also let you know that there are plenty of great private school systems throughout the Lansing area. There's Lansing Christian School. It's a pretty large Christian school system. There is St. Gerard Catholic School on the west side of town, and then Lansing Catholic, which is a large Catholic high school within the area that's close to the downtown. That's there. There's a lot of kindergarten through 8th grade private schools as well. So there are plenty of options that if you do not want to go the public school route, but you would want to go private school, those could be some possibilities for you. Now, you don't get a grant for being in a private school. You're gonna have to pay whatever tuition amount is there. But you know, if you're watching this and you're like, I don't know if I don't know where I'm at with all of this. Like, there are plenty of good private school options. Niche, I think, might have had Lansing Christian at a B+. They didn't have the data for every single one because some of them are larger than others, but there should be an option for you if you're looking to do that, look into the private school option. So that's it for this episode of Lansing, Michigan Life. Again, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, ring the bell for any notifications for any future episodes. And then if you're looking to potentially buy a home in the Lansing, Michigan area, you're looking to relocate here, feel free to call, text, email me, or schedule a Zoom, or we can connect on WhatsApp. Whatever means possible. I would love to be able to talk and connect with you, and all that information is in the description below. So until next time, make it a great day. Take care.